I've got to give you a little bit of history before I tell you the actual experience. I was diagnosed with manic depressive disorder years back, and but my mother was even worse. She had manic depression and suicide. Tried to do suicide and failed because I was there. But just to give you a little bit of information, my story starts in the laundry room of my home, and I was very, very depressed. My mother had passed in November, and November of 2014, and I had been really in a deep hole for about a month and a half, and then in January, on January the 7th, I was in my laundry room, and there was this little voice that said, "Talk to God." And I said, okay. If it is in thy will that this burden not be taken from me, it's okay. But if it is in my highest and best good, please, please, God, take this from me. And in that moment, it seemed as if my body was getting very small, and my soul was getting very large, and it encompassed me. And I lifted up, I felt this lightness, and I lifted up, and the arms of God, or a very, very high being, was there to hold me, to hold my soul in so much love, in so much acceptance, in so much grace, showering this love upon me, unconditional. So much love, astounding. If we knew, if we had the barest inkling of what his love is really like, I doubt if we could really be here, because in those moments that I spent with him, it was love, so much love that it could last a lifetime. And then I looked up into the heavens, and I saw the stars. And the stars turned to diamonds, and the diamonds turned to light. And the light filtered through my body, starting in my head and working around and moving around my whole body. And I was vibrating. And then I had to leave his arms. I didn't want to, but I knew I had to. And then there was another voice inside my head that said, "Step back from your mother. See her soul." And as I did step back in my mind and saw my mother, my dear, sweet mother, I saw a most beautiful soul, the most beautiful soul that I think I've ever seen. And all of the issues and the problems that we had, which were many and serious and deep, all of them just vanished. And I was left to see her in her real self, her real divine self, her self that was perfect. And then, as I came back to earth a little more, I heard another voice saying, "You can stop taking your medicines if you want to." And I had been taking my medicine for manic depression for years. But this voice, there was truth there. It was clarity. And I did that day. I stopped taking all the medicine. And my life for these past 7 months has been such a gift, because I'm on an even keel now. I'm normal. This, I feel, was a miracle. But the even greater miracle is the consciousness. I have that consciousness of that love pouring down upon me. I have that sense, that enthralling, that love is enthralling me. It's more than I have ever imagined it to be. Yet, here I am. I'm in my body. And I'm so grateful. And now my future looks wonderful, looks so bright. And I'm getting back into writing my poetry. And when I was at the piano just after this experience the next day, I had something happen that was another gift from Spirit. And only if we ask, and we ask with such sincerity, we will receive. And so this gift was, had my fingers on the keys, and all of a sudden I felt these hands under me. But they weren't just the hands of a pianist somewhere on the other side. There was this energy going between the palms of my hands and my fingers were vibrating with the energy. And I played for, I don't know, I think my husband said 10 minutes, because I was in another world. And he looked at me and he said, "I've never heard you play like that before." Thank you, God. But I know that if we ask sincerely, and for me, it's always prefacing with, if this is in my highest and best good, if this is in our highest and best good, there'll be an answer. This is connected to the reading of the Urantia book, because I do not think that I would have had this experience without the hope, without the beauty, without the truth of the Urantia book. And my experiences may be different from others, but the Urantia book helps me to realize my true potential. And for that, I am eternally grateful.